Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as we're all aware, version 3.3 is going to be a bit of a glow up season for this unit over here. But the reality is that there's actually going to be a fair amount of work if you've already built Chisa to actually get her ready for version 3.3. Yes, you might be surprised by what I'm saying because she released back in 2.8, a good like 5 months ago. Say, why are you going ahead and say that you need to rebuild her? We've already got her signature set. We've already known that she's like focused on Havoc, all of that good stuff, right? Well, this is the reality here, ladies and gentlemen. We basically have confirmation that there's going to be some big negative status moves coming to this game. First, with Hiyuki over here, clearly, based off this set that we're seeing, she's going to be focusing on Glacio Chafe. And of course, Chisa's likely going to be a great support for Glacio Chafe based off the fact that she increases the stack limit of this debuff and makes those detonations deal a good bit more damage. Right? Chisa's probably going to be really nice to have on the team because there's already another debuff that we've seen over here that operates in a similar way that Denya is going to be supporting. Fusion Burst on the chromatic foam set. Denya also has like another resonance form as well. I think that's more focused on Tune, but we're focusing on the Fusion Burst part of it for now. The main negative status team that's going to be introduced in version 3.3 is of course going to be available on the second half with her. Maybe you'll pick up her signature too, right? And that's going to feature, well, none other than Imith, Chisa, and then like Denya. You know, we just looked at her. And this is the reality of Imith over here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is probably something that you're probably beginning to realize. Imith is not like Cardathea at all in one scaling her damage. Imith just scales off of regular attack like most other DPSs in the game. And when she's on Fusion Burst mode, it's not like she switches to anything else with how she deals the damage, right? On the other hand, a unit like Cardathea, who's typically been the original best in slot partner, right, for our Chisa over here, Cardathea does all of her damage scaling off of HP. This means that it's very hard to buff Cardathea with some of the existing sets that we've had in the game. And the end result was that for her team, you would want her with her massive amount of HP, right? Then you would have Chakota over here who would just buff with Gusts of Welkin by just granting arrow damage bonus, something that Cardathea can use. And then you would have Chisa coming in on her personal set that we all know by now, Thread of Severed Fate. That gives Chisa a 20% attack buff and a 30% resonance liberation damage bonus whenever she applies Havoc Bane. And this would be the best set for Chisa to use because, well, let's be fucking real here. What the hell else would you use instead? Rejuvenating Glow, give an attack bonus to one person on my team. And, yeah, there's pretty much nothing. Oh, maybe Moonlit Cloud so I can go buff Chakota's damage? Nah, you'd kind of rather focus on just improving Chisa's personal damage. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? With the release of Denya, Imith, the full Fusion Burst team, and of course, Hiyuki, you're probably just... And this is the shitty thing. Look how good this fucking thing is. Bro, look at this roll. I'm here to tell you that this shit is useless. Sorry, I just had to get a little... I didn't realize that this was, like, the most diabolical 5 out of 5 in gacha history. This thing's kind of just useless. Do you want to know why? Because it's very, very, very likely it's going to be better for Chisa to be on Rejuvenating Glow in the other two negative status teams. Yes, in the Hiyuki team, as well as the Denya Imith team, you'd probably just rather have her on like a Fallacy of No Return. Like, you know, some Havoc damage 3 costs over here, and then like some attack 1 costs over here. I'm not joking. Because guess what? Buffing Imith and buffing Denya, who are probably both going to be scaling off of attack. Well, we already know Imith is, and Hiyuki also looks like she's going to scale off of attack. Maybe she'll be like defense. I don't fucking know, right? Rejuvenating Glow is going to be better. Because Chisa's personal damage is not enough to write home about to make up for having 15% of an attack buff on your Imith and 15% of an attack buff on the other sub DPS that's going to be there. And the unfortunate thing is that, well, you might have already grinded out an insane fucking set. Sure, like some of my pieces are like really, really, really good, but I'm ready to say goodbye to those because I got these ready, motherfucker. Yeah, I already pre-farm. Yeah, suck my ass. Anyways, right? I'm telling you right now, if you're somebody that's getting these teams good to go, that's planning on pulling Denya, right? That's planning on pulling Hiyuki, planning on maybe pulling Imeth afterwards or whatever, or you already have her. Start farming for these pieces now. Rejuvenating Glow, right, is a set that's actually a little bit hard to get. You kind of have to intentionally go for it. And chances are you might not actually have a lot of like havoc damage bonus pieces and stuff like that ready. And Chisa, ladies and gentlemen, she really... Wait, why do I have these? Maybe I don't need them. Oh, shit. Wait, what the hell? Why do I... Sorry, I didn't even know... Sorry, I just dropped these at the bottom of my video. Maybe you want to do an attack one. Maybe you want to do havoc damage. But you really should be prioritizing a new set for your Chisa to be able to give her the optimal performance possible in those lineups. Because when it comes to Chisa, she doesn't have even close to the same kind of like stat blend as other characters. You don't really want more than 130% ER on her. While a majority of other supports in the game, they want shit like double ER and stuff like that. That's traditionally what we've been seeing on this set. Like double ER everywhere with ER substats. On her, you kind of just want to go up to 130 because there's no need to have any more. And especially if you have her signature, and her signature is very nice in negative status teams because it gives that massive 24% all attribute damage bonus for 15 seconds. That's really, really, really fucking good. Like, that's like better than Shorekeepers in these teams, right? She only gets 14% attack. 24% all attribute is kind of just better, right? That's a big buff. Then you combine that with 15% attack too. 15% attack and all of that, brother, that's gonna be crazy. One thing that I'll just mention as well when it comes to building Chisa on Rejuvenating Glow is that she deals a respectable amount of damage personally. And so building her is going to be rough. I know I said 130% ER. Do keep in mind, you're going to want double crit, attack rolls, liberation damage rolls, and all that stuff too. She basically wants to be geared like a high investment sub DPS. Double crit rolls, and then like 3+ ER rolls. If you thought building Chakona was hard, and Lupa, and like all those units, Chisa's going to feel very similar on this whole sort of like Rejuvenating Glow setup that we have. So do keep that in mind. This is not going to be like an easy sort of grind for you. And that's why you're likely going to be going for those Tacit Fields. Just understand that. Or you could just take the coward's way out and use like Lustrous Razor on her. But yeah, you probably do want her signature because it buffs a lot. Just something to keep in mind as I've gone through some rolls and wasted a bunch of tutors. But this is the unfortunate reality, ladies and gentlemen. You might not want to spend the wave plates. Because you want to know where you're going to have to spend the wave plates to get Rejuvenating Glow pieces? Let me show you. And this is where people are going to get real pissed off. But this is why I'm telling you, hey, at least I'll piss you off early rather when the patch drops and you find out that Rejuvenating Glow is better than Chisa's set. And then you're just like, oh my god. Now I have to think about farming Hiyuki's set and like any other new sets like that, while also knowing that all I can do is like farm this shit where you got Lingering Tunes, Rejuvenating Glow, or maybe you're like, oh, maybe I'll get Molten Rift instead. But this is my take. I actually recommend this one. You want to know why? Because Lingering Tunes, ladies and gentlemen, is actually not as useless as you thought. It's not as useless as you thought for one reason. Yes, Lingering Tunes is kind of just like the worst 5-piece set that we have in the history of the game. But what is its 2-piece effect? 10% attack. That's kind of almost functionally the same as like 10% glacial damage, right? Or like 10% electro damage, all that shit, right? You want to know why? Because we still got all of these in the game, motherfucker. Yes, Chisa's set is a Nightmare Purification Field. And think about it this way. The difference between Galbreda running a 3-piece of this and then a 2-piece of Lingering Tunes, and then or between a 2-piece of Molten Rift or a 2-piece of this, it's like decimals, bro. You can just take all of these Lingering Tunes pieces that you get over here and use them to complete your Nightmare Purification sets down here. Think about it this way. Does your Augusta need the 10% Electro? Or is your Augusta or Yuno fine with the Lingering Tunes 2-piece instead? You're trading 10% attribute damage for 10% attack. Your Augusta and Yuno will functionally be exactly the fucking same using Crown of Valor with a 2-piece of Lingering Tunes. Same thing with your Frolova. Yes, your Frolova doesn't need the 10% Havoc. You could just have the 10% attack instead. Same thing with your Chuyon too, though Chuyon actually would rather have the ER two-piece in most situations. The existence of these Nightmare Echo sets have been annoying for a lot of people because farming them can be a pain in the ass, but there are still some of the most recent unit releases that we've had in the history of the game. And as long as these are here, well, Lingering Tunes will have a purpose. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Because you only need 3 pieces of these sets, and then the other 2 pieces, well, you can kind of just go ahead and, well, let it be from there. And guess what? Guess what the great thing is? You're finding a use case for Lingering Tunes, but you're also going to be able to build your Chisa at the same time. I actually think that this is going to be one of the most valuable sets to pre-farm as we head up into version 3.3, and players should not really disregard everything that I've said because, well, imagine you roll some cracked fucking Lingering Tunes pieces. There's a reason why I've been saving this one, ladies and gentlemen. I dismantled a lot of my existing Lingering Tunes pieces. Why don't you go ahead and take a look at this? That's kind of badass, isn't it? That's a little badass, isn't it? And wouldn't it be insane if I just had, I don't know, another 1 cost, and then I get to use this on functionally any character in the game? Imagine if I just had 2 of these. Lock it? Yeah, true, right? This is what Lingering Tunes can do for your account in 2026. Do not underestimate it, ladies and gentlemen. Do not underestimate it. Because think about it this way. Like, again, we have so many of those 3-cost sets. And, like, what's my Galbrina using right now, bro? I think she got some low-key dog shit on her. What is this? Bro, I got this thing on her, bro. Wouldn't it be awesome if I was, like, able to regrind some of my sets, some of my pieces, and stick this bad boy on instead? It would, wouldn't it? Think about, like, my Yuno. Okay, my Yuno's build is... I'm not going to use her as an example. Like, think about my Augusta over here, right? One of the big issues I have with my Augusta, right, is the fact that I got to share my insane rolls with my Yuno. What if I was capable of just sticking this bad boy on there, right? And then, like, over here, I'm just like, ooh. I start farming that field. I get, like, an electro damage mode. Hey, fuck it. Let's just roll this, see what happens. Ooh. That's not very good. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Imagine if that rolled, like, just as good. Bro, functionally, this is, like, exactly the same as using Void Thunder here. Sure, there might be a minor damage difference, but substats matter more. And so having that flexibility from this is really going to make the allocation of some of, like, your more valuable pieces a lot easier in the long run. Because what's something, a new game mode that Kuro Games introduced, like a new end game over here, right? Singularity expansion and an end state matrix. What can you not do in this game mode? You can't share your echo sets. Yes, this is one of, like, the big sort of, like, factors that have people breaking some of their fucking runs, like, immensely. Having the ability to, like, have that flexible set in the background to, like, build out the rest of those 3 pieces lets you use, like, a lot of your older characters. Because you know how many people, like, accidentally break their runs where they're like, yeah, I use Zhang Liao, and my Augusta also uses my Zhang Liao pieces, so now I can't use my Augusta. Or, like, my Yuno uses pieces, the 2-piece arrow pieces from, like, my Chakota or, like, my Cardathea, and now I can't use her. A lot of situations, right? And so having a bunch of Lingering Tunes 3 and 1 costs that maybe roll well will really alleviate that issue and actually probably make some of your endgame runs a lot more manageable. And then at the same time, you'll be able to actually farm for your fucking Chisa properly. So my take is, don't sleep on this Tacet field. However, though, there might be some individuals out there who have a bit of a savings. Y'all remember this tactic that we had in the past called Unboard Echoes, which you would get from the 1,000 Gateways, where you had the option of basically getting these things, and, well, people thought new sets were going to be added to them, but then the last sets we had added were Windward Pilgrimage and Flaming Clawprint. Some people got a lot of these. Hey, why don't you just get them right now? Hey, why don't you just go ahead, take this shit, and then, hey, it's the first option. Lingering Tunes, and hey, why not? Get your Chisa up to date for 3.3 and then get lingering tunes ready to go. I know a lot of you were saving these up. I know a lot of you were saving these fucking things up, but then never ended up using them because well, the new sets never got added. This is probably the best use you will ever have for those echoes in the history of the game. I know some people be out here having thousands. So why not just get them going again? You can never get those again, Unk. You lost a cherished item. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, another method that we've obviously haven't talked about as well. Bro, you got Fantasies of the 1,000 Gateways. Remember, you got the 2 free claim attempts. And so if you don't want to be fucked to, like, go to, like, actual tacit fields because you're like, I don't know, maybe the sight of Jinjo sickens you, then just allocate your 2 runs a week, right? And then just pick up that box. Yeah, just pick up that box. Fuck it. Why not? Yeah, while you're doing like these runs over here and getting your 160 pulls a week. Remember, guys, you get 2 free claims over here. I think people sometimes forget that. You got 2 free claims over here. That's a thing that gets done. That's a thing that regularly happens. So, again, my goal over here is to really lessen the impact, right? Lessen the damage, lessen the blow. Some people could call this entire video cope. Some people could call this entire video like, oh, okay, Saint, you're really just, Kuro's just retarded when designing Chisa's Sonata set, and now you're just providing us an alternative to fix their fuck up. You're right about that one, too. I got no idea why they designed this Sonata set to be, like, so bad. If anything, they should have just made it so that, like, inflicting havoc main increases the entire team's attack or some shit. Or, like, increases the entire team's damage dealt by, like, 5% or something like that. What the fuck even is this? Bro, this is a DPS set. Bro, this is a fucking DPS set. She's not a DPS, she's a healer. But because Cardathea was her only real team, and Cardathea did not scale off of attack, this was functionally actually the best one in that team. But in reality, going back to this, boys, I'm sorry, we are going back to this. And so I'm just hoping, hey, wait a second, a crit damage fallacy and no return? Hey, wait, let me see how that cooking. Wait, give me a second over here. Oh! Hey, one more. Yeah, I got nothing when it comes to farming this. Like, good. Oh, wait. I got one more. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, brother. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. Hey, rewarded for making such a valuable video for the player base. Well, anyways, that's going to be my Chisa's. That's going to be my Chisa's new forecast. Just so you know, don't get too jealous. But like I said, this is probably going to be her best one that you'll have available because it's like so easy to cast and everything. So yes, I practice what I preach, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.